5 more job search myths that are holding you back. Hey, welcome back. This is Matt from Elevation Career. Today's going to be another session of exposing misconceptions about job search so you can maximize your results as quickly as possible. If you see my previous video on this topic, you know that we're all about cutting through the noise and bringing you strategies that work. We're diving into 5 more job search myths that may be hurting your chances right now and the best practices you should follow instead. Ready? Let's go. Myth number 1. I should start my job search only during the high seasons. Ever heard the advice to slow down your job search during the summer or year end because it's the slow season? Well, that's our first myth for today. You see, companies hire year round, and sometimes the so-called off seasons can actually be your golden ticket thanks to less competition. The reason why there is increased activity during the so-called high season, which is around February to May, basically post-Chinese New Year until the middle of Q2, is due to attrition, people leaving after their bonus payout, which means most of these positions will be replacement roles. On the other hand, expansion roles due to business growth, new initiatives, new programs, and etc., do not necessarily follow this pattern. Therefore, if you only conduct your search based on the hiring cycle, you will likely miss out on new opportunities that are due to strategic business expansion. Also, many people believe that the year end is going to be slow because people are on vacation, the approval process will be delayed, and etc. But that doesn't mean you should slow down your search. This is because the year end is also the time when many hiring managers scramble to fill their last minute openings before the budget deadline. I've witnessed numerous hires being made in record time in November and December, and even if they miss the cutoff date for the year, hiring managers will typically prioritize bringing on board strong candidates that they recently spoke to as soon as their new headcounts are approved in the new year. As you can see, there are significant advantages to applying throughout the year instead of limiting yourself to the traditionally high seasons. Moving on to the next myth, and that is post-interview follow-up is unnecessary. It's a common belief that once you've shaken hands and walked out of the interview, or you've logged out of Zoom, your work is done. But this is where many candidates miss a crucial step, that is the follow-up. You see, this isn't just about courtesy. Rather, it's a strategic move that keeps you in the forefront of the hiring manager's mind. It also reinforces your interest and demonstrates that you're someone who takes initiatives. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what % of hiring decisions are actually made after the interview? The answer is over 20%. That means more than 1 in 5 interviews are decided after all the conversations are over. And this is when a well-crafted thank you letter can tip the scales in your favor, especially when it's a close call. For your thank you letter to be effective, it has to be personalized. A generic cookie cutter template that you can send to pretty much any interviewer will not make much difference and may even be counterproductive. Reference specific discussions from the interview, enthusiasm for the role, and align your skills with the company's or team's needs. Also, it needs to be prompt. Send it within 24 hours of the interview. This is so that the hiring manager can receive your note while you're still fresh in their memory, and so that you can showcase your enthusiasm as well as how quickly you get things done. Number 3, the employer always hires the most qualified candidate. This is a big one. It's a belief that at the end of the day, the strongest candidate who has the most knowledge and experience always gets the job. But not quite. First, the interview process, the few short meetings you have, is too limited or short of an interaction to accurately determine how strong someone really is. But more importantly, if you're unable to express or communicate your expertise in ways that the employer can understand it, they will never be able to appreciate the true value you can bring to the table. Instead, it's the most convincing candidate who lands the offer. It's the person who understands the employer's greatest needs and challenges and can present their background as the ideal solution. And of course, we cannot forget about first impressions either. How you come across in the first 5 minutes of your meeting, your enthusiasm, nonverbal communication, how pleasant you are, and etc. all have direct impact on the interview outcome, and in some cases as much as or even more than your qualification. Number 4, no rapport means a bad interview. Many job seekers believe that if there is no rapport with the interviewer, it means they're not performing well and the interviewer does not like them. As a result, they become increasingly nervous, leading to more mistakes and greater anxiety, which can then affect your actual performance unnecessarily. I've witnessed countless times when candidates would tell me after the interview that they messed it up because there was no rapport and the interviewer probably did not like them, only to hear back afterwards they were being invited for the next round. On the flip side, I've also seen many cases when the candidate feels they had a great conversation and even strong rapport, but in the end did not pass. This is because rapport often depends on the interviewer's personality. Some people are naturally more friendly and some are more reserved, and it may have nothing to do with the candidate or the interview results. It could also be because the interviewer doesn't want to give away anything during the meeting. So don't fall into the trap of prematurely judging your interview and losing all confidence just because the conversation may not be flowing as smoothly as you hoped. Instead, remember your preparation and focus on delivering your best rather than trying to decode the interviewer's poker face. Before we tackle our last misconception, if this video is helping you in some way, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions or if anything I mentioned today resonated with you, please feel free to share in the comment section too. Thanks again for watching, and here is our final point. The last myth: the interviewers are out to get me. Believe it or not, most employers actually want you to succeed. The idea that interviewers just want to look for reasons to reject candidates is false. On the contrary, they're actually hoping to find the right person who can help them and their team. One of the biggest problems in the workforce today is lack of suitable talents. Without competent people, it's impossible to get the work done or do it well. Not only that, but not enough people also means increased workload and pressure for the existing team, which can lead to performance issues, low morale, and even further attrition. You see, hiring managers need the right talent just as much as you need a great job. If they have invited you for an interview, it means they already like your profile and they're hoping that you are the person who can help them. So go out there with confidence, knowing that you are both on the same side. One of the biggest reasons why qualified candidates fail interviews is because of their lack of communication or presentation skills. If you want to learn how to drastically increase your interview communication ability without having to spend a dime, check out this video right here. Until next time, I wish you all the very best with your job search.